Hello and welcome to Local Matters. I'm your host, Amanda Marini Road. So with me today, I have with me Angele from the Canadian Mental Health Association. So welcome to the show again.
Thank you. And I'd like to start off by saying Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Thank you.
And everyone at TV Kojiko.
Thank you very much, Angele, and same to you. So now you're here to talk about the holidays and how this time of year can also bring on some stress for individuals and how we can cope with this stressful time as well as joyful time. Yeah. So what are some tips? I see you brought a jar here. So do you want to get going with the tips maybe? Or do you want to just talk a little bit about how we can start to cope with stress?
Well, you know, when I'm asked this question, often I'll start with the basics. So we know that those struggling with depression and anxiety this time of year can really amplify the symptoms. And in fact, about 70% will say that they have an increase in some of their symptoms around this time of year. So really trying to maybe reach out to family and friends that you know might be struggling with, depression, anxiety, and this is particularly a more difficult time of year. I think one of the difficult things is, well, it can go two ways. Often people will isolate themselves. Yes. They're not in the mood. They don't want to be around all the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. And may isolate themselves, so maybe visiting somebody, maybe one-on-one without pressuring them too much to attend events that may be overwhelming, could be a really good suggestion. Or having the family call and do maybe like on speakerphone and wishing them a Merry Christmas and letting them know that they're loved and cared about. And it kind of reduces that pressure of attending. But at the same time, oftentimes people won't want to leave the home and won't want to get out, and that could be good for their well-being at this time of year as well. So maybe encouraging but not forcing someone to be there if they don't want to.
Right, and Gabe even mentioned earlier Skyping somebody in to
face to face
celebration. That way we don't have to force people to come. I do want to grab some of your tips here.
Yeah, well, I did bring some holiday tips just to make it a little bit more, and this could apply to someone with a mental health issue or not, just generally around the holiday season. What are some things that you can try, things that you can do to really help cope with this time of year and maybe make it more joyful?
Okay, well, let's get started. We've got hunt for gifts. Give one envelope from Santa to each person in the family, containing scraps of paper saying where in the house the presents are hidden. Take turns finding a present and bringing it back to the living room to open, not just for kids. That's cute.
Yeah, so and this could be grandma, grandpa, aunties, anybody, staff at a Christmas staff party. Instead of just doing your traditional putting them under the tree, make it a game, make it a challenge. This way, the hunt lasts longer and you don't have to buy as many gifts. You focus less on the gifts, good on the budget, good for Christmas spirit, and you make it a fun game. So you hunt for gifts and you give clues to all the family members, whoever's involved.
I love it. Process over product. Very good.
Yes.
Very much appreciate that. Okay, I'm getting another one. Pay it forward. Well, we're familiar with this.
Yes, I love this one. This is actually an idea I saw on Pinterest.
Okay.
So you would buy a gift card, maybe a $5 Tim's gift card, a little box of chocolates, and you would put a tag that says, Merry Christmas, please pay it forward. So they receive a gift from a random stranger and they're asked to re-gift to somebody else, and then the other person, and then the other person. So you're paying the Christmas cheer forward, and it might just get into the hands of someone who really needs it at that time of year.
Absolutely.
So I love that one, and I thought that was a great one.
Yeah,
which
that's
I'd like
really
to try.
creative. I think that's really good too. I'm going to try that one with my little guy. What about coping with grief during the holidays?
Grief. So this is often a time of year, whether it's a recent loss or a loss you've had, several years ago, missing that person that was once part of the holiday celebration can be hard. So what first thing is you want to acknowledge that it's going to be difficult. Maybe every year will be difficult. But things you can do to alleviate some of that pain or that sadness is having a toast or a moment of silence in memory of that person.
Right, or like lighting a candle.
Lighting a candle, great idea.
Yeah, you've got some really good tips here. I've got, the mannequin challenge. Now, this is something that's been going on pretty viral all over the internet. So the mannequin challenge, let's talk about it.
Well, for those of you who are on my Facebook page, you may have seen mine that I posted, but this is a fun challenge you can do during the holidays with friends and family. Basically, you just, whatever you're doing, whether you're eating, whether you're opening gifts, you freeze.
Yeah.
And somebody in the family videotapes the scene, and it's actually hilarious.
Yeah, and then you can use it for future family videos and whatnot.
Exactly. You could post it on Facebook. You could send it with an email message. It's just another way to really de-stress, not take the
Yeah.
holiday season so seriously, and have some fun.
Yeah, and finally you got holiday greeting cards, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah, taking it back old school. When's
Yeah.
the last time you've received a written holiday greeting card?
Yeah.
So just something that maybe you could do with friends and family. You're reminiscing about holiday traditions. You're reminiscing of the people
Yeah.
that are no longer with us. You're talking about happy memories.
You know, and what was one of the most unique times I received a card was it was dropped off by hand to an invitation to a wedding, and I thought that was so neat. I know it didn't go through the mail, but it was dropped off in my mailbox, and I really appreciated
The thought
all the
behind it and
energy
the
that
effort.
went into that. So,
Exactly.
Angele, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I also wish you and your family a really great holiday season, and you look good too, by the way. I love your outfit.
Yes, this was actually thought through. I coordinated this outfit today, so thank you. Thank you for having me and let me show off my Santa hat.
My pleasure. My pleasure.